Psalms 23 verse 5. Don't prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. God not gonna make you win in front of the wall of them.
But where they come from, send it back, send it back. Every evil arrow, anywhere he come from, send it back. If a China, if a Jamaica, if a Haiti, where he come from, we send it back. Turn, reverse the curse, reverse the curse, reverse the order, reverse the curse, reverse the order. Somebody say, reverse the curse, yeah. Reverse the order. Somebody reverse the curse. Reverse the order over Jamaica. Reverse the curse, mighty God. Reverse the order. If a king's house, if a garden host, if a the prime minister, if a the opposition,
what they work out, yeah. Don't want like you fast asleep. We plot tell us rise and trim your life. Yeah. Here's a message on your seal. Careless father, oh Lord God, hey, but you fast asleep.
Bad company, watch them. Bob Marley did sing a little song. How did they go again? Could you be loved and be loved? And then he have a little line there say, don't make them fool you. Don't make them try to school. Come on, watch them. Paul said they are bad company.
Watch them.
Bad company. It's bad company. Watch them.
It's a pizza when the time come. Some are gonna charge for corruption.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Remember that. Anyway, I'm even itch, you know. I'm gonna just start this thing here, you know. Make I just start this thing here. So I'm gonna just fix my phone. Right. So I can start this thing here. You see me? Yeah. So I'm gonna just fix this thing here. Yeah, nice and easy. I'm going to start off with London 45 because she has one bag of things. I'm going to just look on this bridge in here, in this video here.
Sir, morning. Sir, your lab rats them full up my inbox this morning, beating on me because I said we're dead now because the relationship
Like and share for
studying medicine in Cuba is done for. They're pounding on me that Jamaica is way better off and where me get my full niche from. So, Mr. Honest, I'm not as bright as the finance minister and the bright lab rats them that coming out here for me. But one thing, always know where me can go find like evidence. So I am going to look for like evidence and come back. No problem. So, okay, here we go. Studying medicine in Cuba compared to Jamaica. Okay? Presents significant difference in language, cost, curriculum focus, and daily living conditions. While Cuba offers a heavily subsidized, community-focused Spanish language education, while Jamaica provides English language instruction tailored towards Western clinical standards. Plus, tuitions can be very costly. All right. Subsidize. Yeah. Right? Let me explain something to you. Whether you like it, yes or no, you need to stop it. You need to stop it because of the whole way I suffer together. You need to stop it. When people come out here and talking things and differentiating things, you need to stop it. If you don't have nothing to say, don't go in my inbox, don't go in my comments. It's way better to study in Cuba. And I've said it from the first time. When I made a video talking about how we turn our backs on Cuba, I mentioned medicine. And in that video, I said there's nowhere else in the world we're going to go and study medicine that is going to be so affordable. Where them are going to take it up all pandemic head and sponsor 44 our medical students, them free of cost. And there is nowhere in the world going to be as affordable as Cuba. I've mentioned that. And here you can go up and Google yourself, go and look for the answer them with the question they want to ask. Listen, it's time for us not to be so sensitive and politically invested in a government that don't give a shit about the people. It's time for us to be sensitive and invest each and everything into ourselves, our country as a people. You hear me? You see, if you don't keep on invest on your heart, on your soul, on your backside all in a this leader will lead the country down a dry well, you're not going to lose big time. Stop it. Stop it. Invest all means and time in yourself and your country so your future generation can come live a better life than we are living now. This government, me and the people in this country know damn good. What are you going to tell me now? A Singapore, a Filipino nurse is gonna go. So what is gonna happen now? We're gonna have all foreigners working in the country now, because guess what is going to happen? It's not gonna be affordable for our Jamaican sisters and brothers, them niece and nephew, them to study at Jamaica and to study other parts of the world. Because it's pretty costly. Tuition ain't cheap. Okay, so you all need to cut the crap out. Stop run to me with these questions. Run to finance minister. Run to Auntie Flavia with them. Don't come to me. She will have better answers. I'm tired fair run go Google phone, man, and I stop it. And the question that you all asking me, all can go look for the answer on yourself, man. On too diated and stupid. This is why the country is where it's at now. So Darrell Vase there, the whole of them, all them do a thief. And you all the one side of fight with me when we should be fighting against them together. You all cut this out. Mr. Honest, man, sir. Come to tell you this morning, sir. Boy, Mr. Honest, when I hear Dr. Dawes tell dead man Mackenzie that at his age he shouldn't be in parliament, he should be home playing with his grandchildren, I could have not agreed with him more. At this point, Deadman Mackenzie should have walked at every candlelight and go all of the 9-night party them we keep at Jamaica so him can stay awake. Because all him do is sleep in a parliament, and when him hear something where the government for face him jump up and open him disrespectful mouth. Anyway, Jamaica can't me alone and listen to the foreign minister and Dr. Dawes. And I realized that in this country, accountability was never a part of the Jamaica Labour Party. Them not willing to tell us truth. They don't willing to hold anyone accountable. They're not willing to, do what they're supposed to do for the people. I think Mr. Olness and his colleague, they purposely gave a rotten deal to the Cubans so they would have to leave. And it is very sad because Wally Power blind and can't see. The Cubans dealt with my eyes on several occasions, and it is sad to see that every year the Cubans, they would come here and they would do their eye clinic thing for free. And to know that so many Jamaicans are here that can't afford eye care. Mm-hmm. And we'll have to find them arm and a leg to sort this out. It is sad and heart-rendering. But at the same time, it is to show you that whenever you're asking the right questions, you're going to be bullied. Because I don't know if you guys listen to when Dr. Dawes hit the nail on the head, or the whole parliament jumped down upon him like a swarm of bees. Listen, he was there talking all along, and if a pin drop, you could hear the pin, if it drop. And the minute when he basically asked the foreign minister, if it's a fact that they have given the Cuban doctors and nurses a rotten deal that they have to turn down or would have to turn down, the whole parliament swarmed down upon Dr. Dawes like a bee's hive. You don't hear them?
Yeah, man, me hear them, man, me hear them.
And this is how they try to keep you from speaking by swarming down when you're asking smart, sensitive, and positive questions. They will not give you an answer. They'll get disrespectful, loud, and rowdy. Anyway, guys, a little birdie pinch me and let me know that Mr. Holness received documents 3 days after Mr. Holness came from the meeting with the CARICOMs. When he spoke on Cuba, he received documents giving him direct orders to dismiss the Cubans. Yes. A little birdie pinch me and tell me that, and that birdie there now tell me nothing when I go so. Yeah.
I said, so, come on, come here about it
Jamaica, Mr. Holness get documents from America to rid
and
Cubans.
The only reason why I can get the documents is because he's corrupt. So Trump will use it and blackmail him. Are the corruption, you know?
Immediately, else. Or,
extradite him.
The image a puppet. They have his germs, they have his paperwork, they have his, listen, them
so
have
any Jamaican a cheer for Andrew Holness have to be mad. Because Andrew Holness cannot make any decision anymore about Jamaica on his own. He must just regurgitate what Trump said. Andrew Holness cannot make any more decision for Jamaica. Andrew Holness is powerless. When you don't watch him, Andrew can't make no serious talk about Jamaica if it's not approved by Donald Trump administration. No, I think
it's full docket, so. Just like when Rubio did come to Jamaica, come put down the docket in front time and say either.
So, I just did a
all who never know, Mr. Holness is a big puppet. And it's about that. And
dirty bunger.
Just keep on praying for yourself, my Jamaican
dirty
brothers
bunger.
and sisters. And just let us pray and look for a better future. Because in this government...
And the reason why they must send with the Cuban doctor, they might not feel now, because they might privatize the hospital. So I be a private man, I go own hospital in Jamaica. Just like a similar pattern in America. And the same thing in Jamaica. So healthcare, only the rich, only people who have money are going to be able to afford healthcare in Jamaica. So all I know dirty king labor right. Dogs soon I'm on a supper. I want to remember somebody tell you, say the healthcare system I go privatize. So the public hospital when I go, it will come like a clinic.
There's no better future. Oppression, stress, depression, lies, wickedness. That's all the poor class of Jamaicans are getting. And it is shameful when we have intelligent and educated people within the parliament that try to defend what is going on. All the lab rats can do is swarm and jump them down like a swarm of bees. But this had to be stopped.
So Mr. Holness, you fan them up in my comments telling me that you're only human and you're afraid of Donald Trump. So you have to do what Donald Trump say. But you never
watch your nose, watch your nose, watch your nose.
$1.5 million USD and I sell out the man them back to all. You're never afraid. Huh? You're never afraid. When you want to shit up the
watch your nose.
Alright, I get what you're saying.
A tourist attraction returning pussy, you know. Watch your nose. Shameful brother. Don't look at him. Don't screenshot it. Make sure you don't screenshot it, you know. And show the lab rat and dirty bunger. When you are deal with. Show the lab rat and dirty bunger. Thieving guy. You know I'm showing you one is dirty bunger. You know, I'm showing one next dirty bonger. Look on that one here.
Hello, I'm Damian Mitchell. The police say they have launched an investigation into a video circulating on social media of a female being sexually assaulted by a male. The girl can be heard several times calling the name of her offender and pleading for him to stop. The JLP chairman, Senator Robert
Montague about crocodile tears. Just because the little girl say, Daddy, don't touch me there. I'm gonna tell on you one day, I swear. Can't you see that you're an old man? The little girl said, Daddy, don't touch me there. Montague get up on the ball in the courthouse. We're going to try and case. I'm going to start it back from the top. Montague, you have so much talk. And because of the allegation of why your friend Delroy Chuck now want to publish the sex offender registry. Montague, I have a strong feeling, say, because of you and your friend them, why Delroy Chuck is afraid to publish the sex offender registry. I want to listen to this.
The police say they have launched an investigation into a video circulating on social media of a female being sexually assaulted by a male. The girl can be heard several times calling the name of her offender and pleading for him to stop. The JLP chairman, Senator Robert Montague, is denying rape allegations against him. Montague says there has also been an attempt to extort him and he has reported the matter to the police.
How can one look a girl? I go look on a big ever great one old man like Robert Montague. And I tell lie say Robert Montague rape her. And Robert Montague saying report the matter to the police because the girl I try extort him. Remember the girl is a minor, you know. So what kind of extortion Robert Montague talking about? So what you want to say, are your girlfriend, but you want to cut off relationship so she want to blackmail you? We are trying to say Montague. We want to try to say right is because context, Isaac say context matter. We are say the girl want blackmail you for what reason? A girl that want blackmail a big of an old man like you. Eh? So we are say your girlfriend and things don't go fear away, so she want blackmail you. I don't understand. Because I rape your name call pan. I'm say Cliff Hughes a post things. Cliff Hughes, you must revisit these matter and ask yourself, George Davis, you must revisit these matter and ask yourself, could this be one of the reasons Delroy Chuck is afraid to publish the sex offender registry? Big up yourself and bless up, Winnie. Could this be one of the reasons Delroy Chuck is afraid to publish the sex offender registry? Because Robert Montague name gonna pop up inside. Because I'm gonna play this here again.
Hello, I'm Dave. Police say they have launched an investigation into a video circulating on social media of a female being sexually assaulted by a male. The girl can be heard several times calling the name of her offender and pleading for him to stop. The JLP chairman, Senator Robert Montague, is denying rape allegations against him. Montague says there has...
So if the girl a plea for you stop Robert Montague, that means it seems like you were having sexual intercourse with this girl. Or you was feeling up her vagina. What you were doing, that's the girl telling you to stop. Screaming and telling you to stop. I don't understand. Delroy Chuck, why you don't want to publish the sex offender registry? Robert Montague name might pop up inside. Eh? Robert Montague going to see the girl and blackmail him. So we are admit to the girl or your girlfriend. Because the one random girl off of the street can just want to come blackmail you, say no Montague. It is impossible for a random girl off of the street come just to try to blackmail you. So you and this girl must have some level of relationship in order for she confident herself and know say I go try to blackmail off a Montague and say me can make her money. Montague, this now make no sense, you know. Robert Montague, this rape allegation case with upon you, it now make no sense. And Robert Montague, I'm tell you this, I'm tell you what I don't like about you. You know say you have those. Then I say you're suicidal. You're suicidal. Come here and say, if you run piece of money for this girl, for this case, keep quiet. That don't mean say never happen, you know. If a piece of money run for that shoulder case of Robert Montague, it don't make a difference, because the crime still commit. So when the money want involved to buy people silent, it doesn't matter. The crime still commit. And if a crime commit, it have a log in the book. But it just not gonna be public knowledge. So may I say, Robert Montague, what kind of relationship you and this girl have? For she feel like so she can blackmail you with a thing named rape. Then it come like, then I saw Labour MP that I saw all under it stay. But no better than none. Because how can I look up mine and look up your daughter now, a girl who could have be your daughter now? I go tell like, say you rape him. That girl want to go to prison. Because it is a big of a thing, Hey, for one little girl, I mean no hear say little girl get locked up. Me no hear say no little girl get sentenced with try accuse Robert Montague of rape. Me no hear that. So Robert Montague, so I saw this little girl cannot accuse you of rape. I mean no hear no in no paper, no way say this little girl get locked up. Or she get locked up and me no know. Maybe news good I miss me, so I mean I hear everything still, but I know what I most serious that the little girl get locked up where I try blackmail her with rape. Robert Montague rape a big thing, And this raping thing, it was created by the colonizer them to set them foot on the island, So I know where you get this dirty habit from, if it goes off a show. Because this is more than dirty habit, brother. And you want to talk about you want girl has to build 1 minute from courthouse when this year swing over. Alright, that's right, Chuck. When I looking at the book and see if Montague name inside. Does not do an extra run show. Just to be certain. Yeah, make a look a run show, Montague. So go down weird on cause maybe then put it in by the surname. I know say a M so the weird on in the book. So check every name in a M, every surname in a M. And see if Montague name in the sex offender registry. And I want to know a little thing and see if the little girl with a lie for Montague will get charged and sentenced. Because them are prison, that little girl should have gone to prison. Montague, why me not hear say sentence a little girl? We are trying to spread rumor upon your name. And I don't know nothing about your Montague, but me assume say you could have a wife as face card. Because we know Labour MP them a punga man, But we still have wife. We make it look like we don't have a normal family, but really and truly, we ritual of playing with bottom. But we don't have to have a wife as face card. When we understand the dynamic about the Labour right them now, all of them have to mingle in the pit. Saying what me I say, how your wife feel now for years say, a random little girl I go tell lie say you rape her. It don't, Montague, this don't look good bossy. So, because of all of this corruption, the Labour MP find themselves that is why they want to sacrifice the life of Jamaican people and put them back in a slavery. You not going to work in a brother. Because we not going to make couple elected officials choose for them life over the whole entire country. You cannot believe the couple elected officials are going to choose for them life over 3.8 million people life. One of the things that these local public servant life value more than 3.8 million people. So are we going to make these thief and criminal, rapists and murderer, because they don't want to go to prison, they enslave on behalf of this, the colonizer? And on behalf of the new Christopher Columbus of the Caribbean, Donald Trump. Say having corrupted politician raise a prime minister who is a thief and do so much corruption and America find out about it. Do you think that man is safe for the country? If you don't believe that you're mad, you don't need to forget you're joke. But we're going to look for Robert Montague crying in the courthouse for a very last time. So look at look on him face when he cry. Look at him.
Also been an attempt to extort him, and he has reported the matter to the police.
I don't understand what I mean by attempt to extort him. After Montague, I'm gonna revisit this core rape case that you have there. I'm gonna revisit this core rape case. Alleged core rape case. Cause you don't get where I fight. And if the little girl I heard my voice, I want to bring up back this case. Even though you did collect piece of money for quiet. If you feel like you can't live with the guilt. Link Talking Mind TV, the number always there on the screen. See if you can get it and link me. If you want justice. If him do it for true. If him take it without a permission, link me up, let me know. Because this is Talk Your Mind TV where you come and talk your mind. So some guy in a jacket and tie want to play Mr. Nice Guy in front of the camera. We go and bring them down. If they're in and out corruption and they're raping, thieving, any form of corruption. Risk taking something that don't give in to them. That is stealing. And I think in Jamaica, it is against the law to steal. So when they steal mango, ackee, or punani, it is stealing. So we're not going to work with that, none at all. See me, David? Yeah, man. So we're going to move on to a very interesting reasoning. And this reason is so interesting. I'm going to start it. Listen to the reason here. This man, I listen to IRFM. And I buck up on one reason where I swear to God, I have to share it with you guys. So, we started like this.
Number one on our list here in the Running African Book Club, Global Nature and the Catastrophic Failure in Libya. Professor Horace Campbell, thank you so much for joining us again inside of the Africa Forum. It's a pleasure to not just talk to you, but also to see you this morning as we speak with you.
Bill Capo, good morning. And it is good to be back on IRFM. It's been such a long time that I've been with you.
True.
Yeah, man, big up on yourself. Big up everybody who just checked in here. Happy
so
Sunday.
Much has happened since I was last here. The most important thing that will happen was the important class struggle against the Jamaican people with Melissa.
Oh.
That was a very important class struggle.
Yes.
Because Melissa attacked the poorest of the poor in Jamaica.
Yes.
And Melissa was a warning. I want to send greetings to all my brothers and sisters in the western part of Jamaica who suffered and who showed their resilience and who are grappling with how to reconstruct their society and their environment. So it's been a long time. As usual, when I come on this program, I say hail up to my brethren and sisterin who I have not talked to. Some of them have passed since I was here last time, like Natty gone.
Our condolences.
So, Natty Rob.
Mm-hmm.
So then Brother Neville, who was there, and Verna, they're listening early in the morning. Brother Richard Small and Brother Rupert Lewis, all of my brethren who have been on the front line for a long time. So I cannot come on your program, Cabo, without giving greetings to the people. And thank you for the introduction.
And thank you so much for that.
We need to remind our people that we are a people who have come through very, very long tribulation. But the tribulation was never able to take away our spirit. And there are a group of people in Jamaica who created a new spirit. And that spirit is called the spirit of Rastafari. Rastafari have two basic principles, which they have delivered to the world. And we want to bring them back to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Principles are peace and love. Now, how do you communicate these ideas of peace and love in an era of confusion, war, destruction, disrespect for human life? they call it artificial intelligence, but it's nothing artificial about it. It is about capital taking away the brains of people for people to make more money. So Rastafari talk about levity. No, but we're not talking to Rastafari in Jamaica. We're talking to everybody. We're talking to Rastafari. We're talking to sinners. We're talking to believers. We're talking to everybody this morning because at a certain moment in human society, people have to stand up. Now, the reason I go back to Rastafari is because they have long vision.
Yes.
In 1935, when the Italian fascists invaded Abyssinia, country that is now called Ethiopia, poor people from their villages in Jamaica said, fascism cannot stand. And we identify with His Imperial Majesty. We identify with the sovereign of Abyssinia, and we oppose to Italian fascism. From the poor people in the villages, poor people in their collective and communes, intellectuals stood up and had the international African mobilization against fascism. In other words, the poor people from our society have stood up against enslavement, have stood up against fascism. And for the young people who think fascism was just something coming out of the head of Adolf Hitler, we must understand that this is a phenomena that arises in the capitalist system when the capitalist system is in crisis. They want to bring fascism back to the world, but the Jamaican people from 1935 to 1938 stood up. My mother used to tell me that in those days, people used to use crocus bag to make underwear. This was the hard time. It was precisely at that moment that the people created organizations, societies, movements, cultural forces to register independence in Jamaica. Today, we are facing a similar crossroad where there are forces wanting to bring fascism into the world. But we know they cannot win. But in the short time while they're trying, they're going to bring a lot of destruction on Bangarang and the people.
And I hear you saying, Prof, that Jamaica has faced fascism face on over decades, over time, and that the answer or the solution to how we move forward is within ourselves and within our own resistance to fascism over time.
Well, I want to just underline that there's a spirit inside of the people of Jamaica. It is something that is intangible. It is something that comes from Kaki and Nanny. It is something that comes from Sam Sharp. But those are people, you give them names. Yes. We don't want to talk about big names. We want to talk about the ordinary women and men and children who go out and plant the yam and chop the wood and dig the soil and build the house. We want to talk about the spirit among the people. It's a spirit of survival. One Rastaman put it to song. It says, we are the survivors.
Yes.
One Rastaman took the spirit of Rastafari.
The black survivors.
Spirit of Rastafari was taken to song to one of the most popular form of cultural affirmation in the form of reggae. But those cultural leaders in the 1960s who took reggae and the sayings of the Jamaican people came out of a society where the poor people from 1935 asserting their right to their humanity. So Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, these are our ancestors, Louise Bennett. But we're not saying anything special about Jamaica. Jamaicans are just one group of human beings. But it so happens that the special circumstances that they put us in, because one thing that I will not go on talking without paying respect to the people who Jamaica belong to.
Yes.
The Taino people.
Taino.
Because we walk around Jamaica and talk about Jamaica this and Jamaica that. But genocide was carried out in Jamaica before enslavement. And if we abandon the idea about what formed the Jamaican community, the history of the Taino people, the history of the people fighting against enslavement, then we are lost. And people who are lost can be manipulated. What the brother was saying this morning, I came on and heard him talking about water.
Yes.
I said, what you going talking? You're saying to me, Jamaica, they call it Jamaica, the land of wood and water. And they're privatizing the water and so Jamaicans are going back to a new form of slavery.
Oh, yes. We have lost access to a lot of our fresh water, most of our beaches, and now we are losing access to the ocean itself in terms of even coming in by boat on the ocean. This is critical.
That is not outrageous. That is more than scandalous. And the question is, do we have teachers in school, preachers in churches, and political leaders who are going to stand up to this loss of the rights of the Jamaican people? It is a question. And it's not to the politician, because the politician at this time, in the face of the political leaders in the United States of America, we must feel sorry for them. What do you expect Holness to say when he's standing beside Rubio? Holness can say one thing in St. Kitts at the CARICOM conference, but when he's standing beside Rubio and Trump in the United States, we must feel sorry for him. And Mr. Holness and the politician must have some humility about the present political conjuncture in the world.
Prof, I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I want to pick up right here. What's the reality of the present political conjuncture in the world, and how are we to understand that? Let me take a quick break.
All right, I'm going to continue. Can I understand the reason continue, you know? So I'm going to just go right to spot it continue. All right, that's right there.
As we went into the break just now, you talked about the politicians who are impotent, if you will, powerless, it appears, in the face of American imperialism. You say we are to be sorry for them. But as we wake up this morning, we're waking to the reality that Jamaica has cancelled the Cuba medical mission, which means so much to so many of us here in Jamaica. Italy had faced the same problem and didn't cancel. What's the difference between Jamaica and Italy in that regard? But we're also waking up to Cuba saying how disappointed it is at this development and pointing to the 50 years of a partnership in medical and health with Jamaica. And then overnight, we see a response again from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs saying, if I am to put it in a word, Marco Rubio was right. There is human trafficking here. And I know I'm going to get kicked for this, but this is basically what it is agreeing with Marco Rubio. The payments weren't made directly to the workers. They didn't have their passports. This is what he said, and this is what he meant when he talked about human trafficking. You mentioned the Prime Minister at CARICOM. He said, well, we must be in solidarity. Caribbean leaders have to have solidarity with Cuba. That, for many, was a glimmer, if you will, of hope. But the day after that, we wake up to the cancellation of the Cuba medical mission, and yet we must feel sorry for them?
Yes, we must feel sorry for them because they're in a trap. They're in a trap, not of their own making. They're in a trap because of how the Caribbean is
No, man, them in a trap because I want making, because at the end of the day, America not do nothing different from what them do in a manly time. The same thing when them do them try off a manly, you know. Right, them do with Andrew, you know, but the only difference, you know, manly was a man of just and him never in no corruption. Andrew is in a corruption, so it's a different ball game. When time you have a corrupted leader, and America knows them corrupt and get him in a corruption, it's different. Them never have nothing for manly. So manly could have tell the prime minister, the president of America at the time, say, you not gonna make me walk up on the road for my knee. I gotta stand up and walk on the road around the road for my foot. But Andrew can't so bold and make them speech there. So Andrew have to Trump say for jump, Andrew have to ask, oh I listen to the reason. So when I say him have a choice, him could have talk, things could have different. If him never did corrupt and a thief taxpayer money, him could have turn up. Because I don't like him have to do trading with America alone. See China, them can do trade with China, them can do trade with America, them can do trade with different country. If him do that one man way, no in no corruption, them could have tell Trump to move and go. Mark Rubio come down and just run him away. And say you can't tell me if I take out me doctor them out of my hospital. The people them in Jamaica elect me for hungry and affairs. So how dare you come to my country and come tell me about me for remove my doctor them from my health facility. You gonna replace them? You gonna replace them? In can't bowl like that.
Integrated in the current world economy. The number one economic survival of the Caribbean comes from the work of the Caribbean workers and small farmers and peasants and traders. That's the number one basis of the Caribbean economy. But another factor of the Jamaican and Caribbean economy used to be agriculture and fishing.
Yes.
It's not that anymore.
True.
It is something called tourism. And because they have organized our economy on a special kind of tourism, it means that the economy is particularly vulnerable to bad press and bad media in North America, Europe, and Canada.
Yes.
So if the politicians
at the Jamaica Labour Party move away the economy from agriculture and fishery because they want to become dependent on them boss in America. And really and truly, tourism that help the country, agriculture and fishery that help the country because the local farmer them want a benefit. So the money that circulating in every village, if they be investing in the local farming. So this government do everything in them power to take the food out of Jamaican people mouth. No matter where they want to come on TV and say. That is why I say Andrew and them administration, they are dirty bungle. I'm not continue with the reasoning.
And have economists who are advising them about strategies, how to handle the present Trump administration. You know, the Prime Minister of Canada, the neighbor to the United States, a big industrial rich country, stood up at the World Forum in Davos and says there's a rupture. So the Canadian Prime Minister, I've seen it, of course the Jamaican Prime Minister, the St. Kitts Prime Minister cannot say that. But if you cannot say that, what do you do in your society? So you mobilize your people, you organize your people, and you draw from the strength of your people to draw from what is going on in the United States of America. So we're not sorry for them because we want to help out the present government. We're sorry that they do not have thinkers and planners and strategists in the government who are thinking of the changes that are going on in the world. We should be lobbying the Jamaican population in New York, in Washington, in California, to make sure their congressional and Senate representative put pressure on Rubio against what they're doing to the Cuban and Jamaican people. That's what I meant by I feel sorry for them, because the Jamaican government does not really understand how much pressure is coming down on the rest of the world because of the present leadership in the United States. The leadership in the United States of America have decided that they will ignore international law. What we mean by international law? At the last World War, when there was fascism, when Mussolini invaded Abyssinia, Ethiopia, when the Germans invaded other countries and killed 100 million people, including 6 million Jews, the world came up with a body called the United Nations. And the first line of the Charter of the United Nations is the respect for the international law and sovereignty of countries.
Yes.
In 1945, when they established the United Nations, Jamaica was not an independent country. In 1948, when they established the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Jamaica was not an independent country. They did not recognize the human rights of Jamaican people, but it was part of the global struggles for international law, international human rights, that Jamaica joined with Africans, Asians, Latin America to make the world a safer place for poor working people. The United States has abrogated international law. They went into Venezuela. They kidnapped the president of Venezuela. They have taken Venezuelan oil, selling Venezuelan oil through Qatar. The United States of America have invaded and attacked Iran. The United States of America and Israel killed the Ayatollah Khamenei, a spiritual leader in the month of Ramadan, in the month of the feast of people fasting for Easter. The United States of America is having blockade against the people of Cuba. They've said they want to take over Panama. They want to take over Greenland. They want to take over Canada. So we are at a stage going back to 1945, where the Jamaican people, not the government, have to stand up for international law, have to stand up for the dignity of Black people, and have to stand up for the health and safety of the people. When you talk about Jamaica and Cuba, that transcends government. My grandfather worked in Camagüey province in Cuba. Nearly every Jamaican family have a family member from Cuba. So when we're talking about Cuba and Jamaica, we're not talking about diplomacy. We're talking about our family. So the support for the Cuban people at this particular moment is like getting up and supporting people for Melissa. In other words, all throughout the Caribbean, we have,
of course, our family.
The Prime Minister.
So, boy, Marco Rubio and Trump, we are hide from the Epstein file. Them needs to go deal with that. And love, we are our family, because really and truly, Cuba our family. We have a whole heap of family go Cuba go study in a manly time. No for our uncle, our big uncle them. Them go Cuba. Our grand uncle them go Cuba go study, you know, in at the time, you know. So our family, and we have Jamaican live everybody said we make them family everybody said we. So our family, I will not gonna make Donald Trump and Marco Rubio go between the relationship with we and Cuba. For them selfish gain, for some for benefit them. Because America do everything only for benefit America. Everything America do is only for benefit them. And we're not going to make them dictate to who for link with and who not for link with. Trump for just move in pussy hole and go. We're not bow to no bumbuckle at America. I just that. We're not bow to America. So if Batman, Andrew and him administration and bow to Trump. We ain't bowing to Trump. And we stand with Cuba. And that. And if Trump not like him, can just drop asleep and don't wake up. If Marco Rubio don't like him, can just drop asleep and don't wake up. We stand with Cuba. And that is final.
of St. Lucia studied in Cuba. Now, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia got his medical degree from Cuba, but Prime Minister of St. Lucia cannot tell the United States, we are going to stand against you. He has to find ways with the St. Lucian people to say all of the people who benefited from Cuba health and education must stand up.
What does this stand-up look like? Collectively, I hear you. What does this stand-up look like, Prof? Because we're getting, now this is on the ground here in Jamaica, palpable fear. And
the thing about it, Jamaica benefit more from Cuba than America. Jamaica, when I talk about benefit where the whole entire country benefit. I talk about individual benefit where people benefit from America. I talk about a benefit where the whole entire country benefit from Cuba. Jamaican benefit from Cuba more than how them benefit from America. The Cuban do more for Jamaica than what American do for Jamaica. The only thing America do for Jamaica, flood it with gun and drugs and mash up the government, the government structure, our government, and take it over and run it like how them want to run it through the Jamaica Labour Party. So when I come, if we compare, we choose Cuba 100 times over Jamaica over America. We choose Cuba 1 million. Trump and Marco Rubio, I'm telling you this. We the Jamaican citizen, we choose Cuba 100 times over America. We choose Cuba 1 million times over America. We don't benefit nothing from America. If Andrew and his friend them benefit from the money when I donate to Jamaica, that a free them business. But we don't benefit nothing from Jamaica. And the thing about that, the only thing Trump them can come up and talk about is visa. And every Jamaican will be able to get a visa for go to America. So they look at people them want to oblige to come in the country. It is not enough. It is not enough. So you look about visa restriction, or come with visa restriction, like the visa with Trump or them give like it is a bride price. I like if you get an American visa now, that is your ticket to heaven. A full time if you run a Trump and make him move and pussy all and with him visa talk. America is not the only place which we can travel go. America is not the only place we can travel go. And if everybody decides that them not travel to America, then maybe then start giving them visa free. America is not the only place to go. I remember America is safe. Remember America is safe, you know? You think America is safe? America is safe. And a matter of fact, the way Trump come dictator come talk about through Marco Rubio about them to remove Cuban doctor out of the country. We know Trump a racist, you know. Then the mega regime and Trump a racist. Then the man come and talk about some, I remember which group of people in this eat out the people, them dog and cat. The man no one, Trump a racist. So all around the Jamaican and African we talk about Trump a racist and the pit of hell. Saying, and we can't have this racist guy who can dictate what we go on in our country. We stand with Cuba to the world. One Fidel Castro, because Fidel Castro did mean good for Jamaica. And the Jamaica Labour Party spread propaganda about Manly or Anton Jamaica in a communist country and hope of this and hope of that. That was the upliftment and the development the Cuba go help Manly do for Jamaica. And the CIA and America say if them allow this to go on, Jamaican people are going to be smart and educated. And if you have an educated nation, then can't get to have it for them way. So them put a propaganda and talk about Cuba, Manly want to turn Jamaica in a communist country. And if you have two carriers, if you give somebody one, if you have two this, you have to give somebody one. That is the propaganda where the labor right them spread. For sure you, and a no labor right fool, you know. And a no labor right fool, you know. You don't think I know labor right fool? Just check on the history. And if you don't know, ask your grandmother and grandfather. I don't know, labor right fool for selfish step and house top of shingle. I find them time the labor right a fool.
Some people don't even know what they're afraid of. But there is inherent in all of that a fear of losing access, a fear of a Venezuela situation, or, God forbid, an Iraq situation. The shield of the Americas. That happened yesterday, that meeting that happened yesterday in the United States. Trinidad is at the table, but...
Oh, no, sister, America is a pirate country. You know, this is American government and one pirate government. It's a thief in government and a pirate. They're a pirate, blood-clad pirate. I use them big army. They are pirate. So we know we're not chattings with America. They're a pirate and we see them now. And I like them are going to tell me some fuckery in our history. We see it for ourselves with our eyes. America, a pirate country. The whole government structure is a pirate government. The whole system is a pirate system. They enforce in the world, throughout the world. Is America come with a pirate system and a style? This thing about this democratic process I say them come with is only if a thief out of blood clot resources out of your hand through this dialogue with different countries signing them through this democratic process. It's only if a sign about them talk about business deal and this a deal. It's only if a thief out of America is a pirate country. A piracy chumper going with down the world or go around and thief people things. Look how much oil ships trump them thief. Then go to Venezuela go thief their oil. Now they want Greenland. Now they want violate Turkey. Now America is the weapon that farm against the world. America is the weapon that farm against the world. Not America, the government system, the government structure in America. It is these people are Satan. The people them who run the government of America, they are Satan. When them are talking in the Bible about Satan will come with bread, these don't look at who cause the price. Look at who cause the death and destruction on earth of America. And that style. Only just look. And then use the Bible make we look a different way. Then use the Bible make we look a different way and not identify the devil. Because if you can't identify the devil, you're in a problem, you know. If you cannot identify the devil, you're in a problem. And the system that run America, they are the devil system. They are the devil system. Not the local illusion of them try to purchase in the Bible. The system around America, American government, they are the demon. Those set of people are, I don't know if them are people, but these are the same demon devil where the Bible are talk about. Hidden in plain sight. These people are the devil. And them cause death and destruction on earth. There's no other devil causing this death and destruction. A whole bill all of these virus. These set of people who develop machine for can create disaster. These people who mash up earth with them missile and bomb and atomic bomb. These people. So how them want to go and tell we line that the Bible say it is some mysterious guy. We're gonna come with hand in our head and red eye red like blood and them fuck ready. One time our treading through earth to show us that these people are causing death and destruction. These people are believe the virus them. These people are trying to play God by way. Have we in a trance or hypnotized with the Bible, and I'm have everybody I think a priest say some guy go bust the cloud, or some guy a come on the sea with this and that. Them tell us say when time the Messiah come again, a brimstone and fire. And who them give you as the Messiah? Now one white virgin man. Where you see a come, where you see a go on now in Iran. The brimstone and fire man, you don't see a go on in Iran. And the brimstone and fire go on in Iran, you know. And the brimstone and fire go on in Iran. But we continue.
Look at the stance.
Were they? Look at how they treated her at the table.
Well, there you go.
They see the optics.
I saw the optics.
See the optics
yes.
of that meeting.
Yes.
But who was in that meeting? In other words, let us not get carried away. Was Brazil in that meeting?
True.
With nearly 200 million people?
Not at all.
Was Mexico at that meeting?
No.
With nearly 200 million people?
Too much Jamaican doctor
Colombia
and
at that
nurse.
meeting?
America
The
take
point
American
about
them system.
the media, we should not be carried away. In 1935, when Italy invaded Abyssinia, the poor people in Jamaica did not wait for governments to act. They acted in their villages. What do we do in our schools, our churches, our communities, our lodges, our universities and colleges to help the Cuba? We are not powerless. Cabo, the way you've taken the initiative this morning to have this program on Cuba, how many people in churches are lifting up prayers to their relatives in Cuba? In other words, when you go to church, who are they praying for? Mr. Trump and the fascists in the United States of America? Are you praying for your brothers and sisters who suffered from Melissa? Are you praying for your brothers and sisters and your cousins in Cuba and in Iran? So when we talk about solidarity with Cuba, we're going back to the kind of solidarity that we mobilized to fight for independence. When I was a boy in Jamaica, I went to school, and in my high school, my teachers were people who supported independence. So they did not wait for a political party to tell us about the struggle of Nani and some. What are the teachers doing in school in Jamaica? Let me give you an example, Cab.
Can I ask you to hold? Oh no, finish the sentence. Yes.
Point.
Yes.
Cab. How many Jamaicans know about Kutukuna Valley?
It's hardly taught in school unless you're doing specific history and unless you choose to answer a question on Cuba or Angola. It doesn't come up because it's not taught.
But how many students in the United States in Jamaica know about the fight in Europe against fascism and Normandy? They teach them that.
They do.
They teach them about Europe.
Yes.
But they don't teach them about Africa and Cuba.
Yes. Why is that?
Well, that's because we don't have an educational system to serve our people.
Let me take a break.
That is why I'm making this call to the teacher training colleges and the teachers. We're not calling on government this morning. We're calling on normal citizens to do what they can and do everything they can to have solidarity with themselves. But when you solidarity with yourself, you have solidarity with Cuba. Because Cuba is your neighbor, is your cousins, is your uncles.
Is our grandfather. Hold the line for me, please, Prof. I'll be right back. I know I interrupted just as we were going to the break, and you were asking some really poignant questions about our education system. I want to go there, but you asked specifically about how many know about Cuba's role, for example, in Angola, liberation role in Angola, on the continent of Africa, not just Angola. And I want you to go there for us to help us to understand, because you have been writing about this, also talking about Africa's debt to Cuba. Help us to understand what that is and the role that Cuba has played and continue to play in liberationary movements.
Okay, thank you very much. This is something very close to our heart. Jamaica and Jamaican people, when they joined the United Nations in 1962 as an independent country, Jamaica was at the forefront of opposing apartheid. That's the system of white supremacy in South Africa that took away from the rights of ordinary South African workers and poor people and black people, and exploited them and plundered the country. The people of Southern Africa, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, fought against apartheid. When they were fighting against apartheid, they were fighting on many fronts. The first and most important was the people in the streets, like the children of Soweto, fighting with their liberation leaders. and the liberation leaders were mostly in jail. Like Nelson Mandela was in jail for 27 years. Secondly, there were liberation movements. Thirdly, there was the frontline states of Tanzania, Angola, Mozambique. But most importantly, it is the battles to militarily defeat the South African military. The South African army had killed 2 million people in the region of Southern Africa. They had created $80 billion in damage in the region. And they had invaded Angola in 1987 during the period of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan. They were going to go to take over Luanda to reverse the independence of Angola. And the peoples of Angola reached out to the Cubans who had helped them in 1975 to fight for their independence. And at the Battle of Cutuconabale, that went on from 1987 to 1988, the Cubans and the Angolans and the liberation movements of SWAPO and the ANC decisively defeated the South African military forces. And when they were defeated, the United States stepped in to negotiate for the withdrawal of the South African army. And it is at those negotiations that we saw the independence of Namibia, the unbanning of the liberation movements, and the release of Nelson Mandela and other freedom fighters. So the Cubans had sent 33,000 soldiers and international fighters. Hundreds and thousands of Cubans died for the independence of Namibia, the sovereignty of Angola, and for the unbanning of the ANC. Every school child in the Caribbean, in the world, should know of this sacrifice of the Cuban people. That is not to speak of the hundreds of thousands of Cuban doctors, health workers, agronomists who have helped in Angola, Algeria, Mozambique, South Africa, Tanzania, the Congo. So the Cuban society became a superpower when it came to health and healthcare because it dedicated its society for the well-being of human beings. These are basic facts that every one of our children should know, just as how we teach them about Nani and Sam Shah and Paul Bogle, because Cutuconabale changed the history of Africa. As Fidel Castro says, the history of Africa is written before Cutuconabale and after Cutuconabale. There would have been no unbanning of the ANC and ending of apartheid without the sacrifices of the Cuban people. So now the Cuban people sacrifice for us in global Africa. What are we doing in return? Are we going to quibble between before a little in Jamaica, so a boy called Rubio? No, look at Trinidad. The leader of the opposition in Trinidad came out and said, Mr. Rowley said that what the Prime Minister of Trinidad is doing is not right. The Prime Minister of Trinidad has gone against the principles of Eric Williams about non-alignment. Where is the opposition leader in Jamaica? What are they saying about Cuba?
Well, we just heard, to be fair to them, we just heard, and I heard it on TVJ News last night. I'm sure Arifa might have carried it, but I was watching TVJ News last night, and I heard a report from Donna Scott Motley, who I think is a spokesperson for Foreign Affairs, where it's the strongest I'm hearing so far coming from the opposition. I don't know if we'll hear anything else, but basically there is a challenge there. Also from Dr. Dawes, I think, has said something. But as you know, in St. Kitts, the Prime Minister of Jamaica also talked about solidarity with Cuba and what that meant. So they're all quibbling in front of this little boy, Marco Rubio, as you said. Prof, I have coming into me probably 16 or 17 messages from academia. And they're all challenging me because basically they're saying that in In high school in Jamaica, at grade 9, students are taught the relationship between Cuba and Jamaica. And then others are saying at the University of the West Indies, in the Department of History and Archaeology, Cuban history is covered in international relations. But I want to say something about that, because my daughter, who is still in high school, went through grade 9, did history, and Cuba was a choice. She didn't have to study Cuba. It was a choice on the syllabus. So, and this is the point we're making, that it is not compulsory. You can choose it. So some answering, reading and answering that.
Well, let me say to you, Kabu, that you are a very powerful force in Jamaica, because the professors in the university have to answer you on your show on real time. And if the professors say in real time that they're teaching about Cuba in the university, we'll say, good for you. We thank you. And I am not following the curriculum in Jamaica, so I stand to be corrected if I made an error. But the point is, it needs to be more generalized. In other words, it needs to go to a teacher trainers college.
Yes.
We need to go down at the lowest level. So
Yes.
I stand to be corrected, because I cannot speak about the curriculum authoritatively in Jamaica. So
All right. We do have this issue of Cuba that I want to underscore before you go, which is to say, this, as Cuba has said, Cuba is disappointed. Jamaica has come out swinging. And I called it this morning a vulgar response, because they have thrown Cuba under the bus. It's interesting that Dr. Lakim Samaj has written an article about this. Are we throwing Cuba under the bus? And he did that before all of this. But this information, this press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs this morning is very telling. What do we do from here? Where do we go from here? How do we, as the grassroots that you're talking, how do we move from here to assist Cuba, in Cuba itself, and tangible in terms of the economic chokehold that Cuba now, that the U.S. now has on Cuba?
There are many levels. And the first is to go back to the spirit that we talked about. What spirit is moving the people right now? This is not academic. This is not about politicians. What is the spirit of survival for the Cuban people and the people of the Caribbean? And that spirit will move you to do many different things. There was a speaker on before I came on.
Dr. Devon Taylor, yes.
Raising support for Cuba and mobilizing support. You are not very far away from Cuba, 45 miles away. How do you mobilize resources, even in the face of the challenges in Jamaica? How do your schools and your churches and your communities support the flotilla and tell the people who are coming with the flotilla they can land in Jamaica, and tell the people in Angola and Tanzania they can fly some beans to Jamaica, and the flotilla will pick up in Jamaica and Barbados and go to Cuba? That is at the basic level where your community is. But there is also at the level of international politics. What are we saying about Cuba in CARICOM? Are we having a discussion about the technical basis for Cuba becoming a full member of CARICOM and being defended politically, legally, and diplomatically by CARICOM? Now, Haiti is a member of CARICOM. I don't see any reason why Cuba should not be in CARICOM, and we should be starting the discussion on this. Thirdly, the Jamaican diaspora, that is, I don't like that word, but the Jamaican overseas in Colombia, San Andreas, Jamaican diaspora in Costa Rica, Jamaican diaspora in Cuba, Jamaican diaspora in United Kingdom, in the United States of America. These are very important constituencies of Jamaica that should be joining with Jamaica on this question of Cuba. Just take the United States of America. There are so many children of Jamaicans in important positions. Let's take, for example, the head of the Congressional Black Caucus, Yvette Clarke, from Brooklyn. Brooklyn is another Jamaican community. Why do we not have Yvette Clarke on IRI FM and have the Congressional Black Caucus taking a firm position to support Jamaica and the Caribbean against the sanctions against Cuba? So
very good. Very good point.
Yes. I'm suggesting that there are many things we can do. And the last point I want to make is about the churches. We have people who call themselves Christians in Jamaica. But last time I was talking to a friend of mine, colleague of mine, teaches in Florida. He came to speak at my university. And I asked him, what are the churches in Jamaica saying about this attack on Iran? And he said to me, the churches in Jamaica follow Billy Graham more than they follow Martin Luther King. This is a challenge on this Sunday morning. If you're following Billy Graham in Jamaica, you're following white racists who want to take away the rights of black people in the United States of America, want black children in the United States of America not going to school. So the churches who are praying this morning and offering supplications to God to bless them must ask themselves, Martin Luther King is against racism, apartheid, the oppression of the Palestinian people. So the churches, the Jamaica Baptist Union must make a statement about this thing. The Presbyterian Church, the Roman Catholic Church. I know the Pope does not support what the United States of America is doing. So in every section of our population, we must raise our voices against this outrage against the Cuban people and against the Caribbean people. You cannot abduct the president of Venezuela, violate international law, and the Prime Minister of Trinidad rise up and say something. And the last point I want to make is about Rastafari. Rastafari mansions cannot be quiet and silent on what is going on in Cuba. In the movement for social justice in the Caribbean, there's a statement made by Rastafari organizations in the Caribbean, along with the organization of the oil field workers trade union and other workers in the movement for social justice. What are Rastafari mansions saying? We talk about churches, we talk about schools, we talk about universities. Rastafari cannot stand apart from this current challenge to the sovereignty of human beings.
To the church, Prof. Isn't this for the church a moment, well, it's a conundrum, it's a conflict, because you're talking about the very same information that's coming out of the United States and the very same points being raised by some in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, and the United States Army, and also out of the political spaces, which is to say, this is a fulfillment of prophecy. This is leading to Gog versus Magog. This is the end times. Doesn't the church now find itself in a trap? This is Christianity versus Islam. The church obviously is taking the side of Christianity, which is the church. And that's it. Well, generally speaking, the evangelicals, this is prophecy.
But we have broken the church before. In other words, when the slave masters came to Jamaica and say and quote Songs of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5 and 6 and Ephesians and say black people should be slaves, did we as black people say that we accept the Christian preaching of the British church? Sam Sharp was a preacher. Paul Bogle was an assemblyman in the church. Every one of those who are fighting against racism in the United States of America, every major rebellion in the United States was led by Christian people, because Christianity is about freedom and human dignity. So if we have people who are licky, as they say in Jamaica, and want some handout from the white racists, and they call themselves evangelical, and they join, can you imagine that you kill the Ayatollah in the month of Ramadan? And when you kill the Ayatollah, you say the God of Israel and the God of the United States is better than the God of
Iran,
Islam. No, this is not Christianity. This is devil worship. And devil worship is worshiping white supremacist ideas. So from the beginning, Nani, Sam Sharp,
yes,
Paul Bogle, Marcus Garvey, Rastafari, even our current political leaders in Jamaica. I grew up in the church in Jamaica. As a little boy, I went to the church, and the church is called the Calvary Baptist Church. The Calvary Baptist Church was started by the children of Sam Sharp. And most people don't know this history. So when we talk about religion, the Jamaica Baptist Union and Calabar College was started as place to train Jamaicans who oppose white racism. So when you have in the church in Jamaica,
yes,
people who say they support Donald Trump and they call themselves evangelical, these are just plain capitalists, bootlickers who want to oppress their people. And those people should be exposed.
I think it is
Very
good that,
much so.
yes, and I think it's good that you have laid this on the table this morning, that we're calling this to order. It's important for us to face this one thing at this critical time. And maybe, just maybe, hopefully, all Christians who are listening this morning, just before you head out to church, because I'm getting your text, I know you're all listening, maybe when you go in this morning, the conversation will be a little bit different. Thank you.
Can I just add one point?
Yes.
Because I reflect on my boyhood in Jamaica. I was listening to Rastafari in the street corner, and I was going to a church called Calvary Baptist Church. They brought Billy Graham to the church. At that point, I did not know that Billy Graham opposed Martin Luther King. It's only later on that I understood this, that my church was supporting white racism.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we do not want our children to grow up in a church in Jamaica with evangelicals bringing white racists, just as how I was brought up and was being told that Billy Graham is a great leader who called us to prayer. And Billy Graham was supporting those who are oppressing Black people. We now have the tradition of Martin Luther King, a man of peace, a man of love, a man who opposed war and militarism. It is time the church leaders in Jamaica wake up. In the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope this morning is supporting all of the people of Cuba and Latin America. The Pope is not supporting the United States. And this is a point that Jamaicans must understand. Jamaicans are migrants. We have migrated all over the world. The Pope is against what ICE is doing to poor immigrants in the United States of America. And Jamaicans cannot be silent on what ICE is doing against people and picking them up. In my university, one of our basketball players, who's from the Sudan, was picked up this week by ICE, and we have to be mobilizing. So there's nowhere we can be quiet on whether it is on immigration, whether it's on Cuba, whether it's in Iran, whether it's on education, whether it's on health. There's no way we can be silent at this moment. We have to stand up to be counted.
We're going to leave it there, Prof. I think it's a powerful note on which to wrap. Thank you so much, as usual. You're going to come back hopefully next week when we talk a bit more about Iran. By then we'll know a whole lot more too. But as usual, thank you so much for your knowing, for your knowledge, and for sharing with us in this.
I'm going to leave it right here so for tonight and start back where I left off with a different segment, but still on the topic with Cuba. I may have some more things for sure. We may have 10 minutes to 2 and I'll get some rest. Today I'm a day off, but I feel tired after a long week, you see me? So until them time they, you know, it's just one of them things they do. You see me? Just one of them things them on. See, me have all I want to...
Looking at Iran.
Me have all I want to make gonna see. But tomorrow I'm gonna see that one, you see me? I may build a video here, you know. The video here, AI video this, you know. The one I want to see display up on the screen. Yeah, man, this is an AI video, I may build it, man. Yeah, I mean, just create something and present this to me. You see me? Until them time, enough love here. Yeah, man, and support the people if your mind tell you. So we'll just call it a day, though.
Everything is within time. Your truth live within you. And if you want to find God, you have to find God within you. And you possess of good and evil, so always remember, don't yield to the evil force. Yield to the good. You know why if you yield to the good? Good will always prevail over evil. You manifest the activity of the thinking in case you never know. So you create your physical experiences through the way you think and the way you feel. Through emotion or intuition or invocation. And always remember, anything at all where you send out there in the atmosphere, it's coming right back at you. So always have a positive thought, positive thinking. Think about the good. Anything where you ask for in life, you will get it. You don't go and like say just stay too long to get to the car. Everything is within time. Your time is your time. My time is my time. Your shine is your shine. Your shine could be my shine. My shine could be your shine. But we are all shining stars.